I'm going to play a video. The audio is going to be low. It's not my fault. It is probably my fault because actually I'm the one who clipped it in the first place, but it was the broadcast. I want to start this off with Kathy Hochul is a godforsaken demon. Now, I'm a fan of not using the Lord's name in vain, whether or not you believe in that. It's somebody's Lord. Godforsaken is one word. And so I don't believe I'm violating any rules by saying it. She's a godforsaken demon. And I don't use the D word flippantly. She's an actual demon in human form. I'm going to shut my big mouth and let this play to the end. I just want to remind everybody that while we're going to get into a story where Kathy Hochul is Reverend Lovejoy's wife, won't someone please think of the children? This is a woman who makes Dr. Mengele green with envy. Dr. Mengele is staring up at Kathy Hochul from the bowels of hell saying, lady, you and I are going to meet each other one day. This is Kathy Hochul. I forget how long ago this was. September 14th, 2023. So we're damn near 2 years. 2 years ago. After the very, very nefarious, the very detrimental effects of the experimental COVID jab had been well documented, especially in certain demographics, i.e. the demographic that this itchbay is targeting right now. This is what she had to say when she was imploring you to go vaccinate your children. I'm not even using the word well, she's saying the word. 6 months and older. Protects against new variants. No, it didn't. New Yorkers 6 months and up are eligible only in Dr. Mengele's New York. And it's available even if you had COVID-19 or COVID vaccine. Maybe, okay, that's talk to your provider. Here, listen to this. I hope it's loud enough.
In this case, they literally recommended that everyone 6 months and older should get a shot. You do not want your baby, your young child, to have to go to the hospital. So don't wait on this. 6 months is the age. Sounds young, but children get shots from birth. They can do it. I encourage everyone, don't let your baby be one that is in a cold, dark, scary place, unknown to them, scary for your child. Think about them and get them vaccinated. So they can't protect themselves. They have no choice. They're counting on their parents to do the right thing. To them, scary for your child, in a cold, dark, scary place.
What the hell is going on? Let's just assume she's talking about a kid being hospitalized. In what hellhole of a New York state are hospitals cold, dark, scary? Maybe. Cold and dark? This is a woman who is now promoting experimentation on children as young as 6 months. I love how she says, like, I know it's young. Like she's being held hostage. I know it's young, but I've got to read my line.
This is the age. Sounds young.
It doesn't sound young. It can't get much younger, you Mengele torturous experimental demon. It can't get much younger unless you go needle them in the womb. So that's Kathy Hochul, who is a pharma whore with no qualms about experimenting on children with drugs that they don't need. But hey, they get a lot of shots, so why not just give another one that will cause myocarditis in some of them, cause other unknown problems in others? Why not just take another one? Hell, you've you smoked marijuana. Why not just go snort coke off a hooker in Vegas? I mean, you've done some drugs. You may do all of them now. All right, that's Kathy Hochul. Today she put out a video, and like I just you're being lied to. I've lived long enough now to know that her face makes me want to vomit. I'm sorry. I loathe. It's not a question of making fun of her appearance. She's the detestable demon. And she's starting to like look like what she personifies. She doesn't move her teeth when she talks. Yes, I know. It's like either she's choking on her own bullshit or she's got something where like the upper part of her face doesn't move when she's talking. Listen to this. This is the fake news of the day. Trump administration, heartless. Won't someone think of the children because they're enforcing immigration law? Here's what Kathy Hochul has to say.
Today, ICE agents deported a mother and her 6-year-old daughter. They had been previously residents of Jackson Heights, residents of Queens, and the little girl was preparing to go back to school this fall. But instead, a short time ago, they were ripped from their homes, sent to a detention facility in Texas 2,000 miles away, thinking they might still have hope to return to their home, the only place the little girl has ever known. But instead, today they were sent on a plane and sent to a foreign country for this little girl. This is cruel. And I say to those who did this, where is your humanity? President Trump, you said you were going after the worst of the worst. You think she's really the worst of the worst? Why can't we work together to go after the truly worst of the worst? The human traffickers, the sex traffickers, drug dealers, murderers, gang members. We'll help you do that. But please stop separating our families. They did nothing wrong but look for a better life, just like my immigrant grandparents did, and so many other families that have been changed by coming to this great opportunity land of America. I want answers on how this could happen. Is she really the worst of the worst? I want to demand how you can possibly say yes.
Oh, won't someone please? You hear the way she describes it. If you didn't know better, you'd say the kid was born here and they had been here for a massive period of time. The only home she. First of all, let me pull this out for a second. There is. I'm not. I want to say there's no doubt that this is not traumatic on the kid. The kid's 7 years old. To go to preschool. I don't know what grade school she's in at 7 years old. I think it's like kindergarten or grade 1. As traumatizing as it is for anybody to have to leave a country, I do question the trauma that a 7-year-old would endure to go to another school after grade 1. But set that aside. The only home she's ever known, the worst of the. You want to know what the story is? Take it a guess in the chat. For those of you who don't know, and if you do know the answer, don't, because you have to go look at the story after this. First of all, it's not very easy to find a lot of information on the story because Kathy Hochul doesn't give you any names, doesn't give you any details, just gives you a lot of hyperbole and lets you think that this has been a family that's been here for decades with long roots extending into the soil of these United States of America. How long do you think the family had been here illegally? Just take it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 years. How many years do you think they've been here for? I'm not going to wait for too long, but as I go find the article, I got a funny story afterwards. As I go find the article, as I continue talking, while I go find the article that I brought up because I had the article in the backdrop, here we go. What did the chat say in terms of how long they've been here for? 2, 15, some say 15, 4, 3 months, 2 years, people, 2 years and 8 months. And this is not to minimize how upsetting it would be to be told that you have to go back to a country that you fled from. Be told by the country that you entered illegally that you have to go back. Now, is she the worst of the worst? No. Is it illegal? Yes. Period. Full stop. It's, Trump had floated an amnesty idea for farm workers, which didn't go over well with anybody who's paying attention to anything. Farm and agriculture and hospitality workers, that didn't go over well because it shouldn't, because you're just going to create a new class of effective modern day slavery. Are we seeing? Put this one pause here. This is the article. ICE deports 6-year-old girl and her mom to Ecuador. Do you see how this insidious framing? ICE deports 6-year-old girl and her mom. No, I'm sorry, you effing propagandists at The Independent. They're deporting an illegal mother and her kid. It is probably upsetting for the kid. You don't blame the government that's enforcing the law. You blame the mother that broke the law. But they frame it like, they're deporting the 6-year-old and the mother's tagging along. No. ICE deports 6-year-old girl and her mom to Ecuador as New York officials blast Trump. Where is your humanity? New York officials call recent arrests of public school students and families a shameful stain. I don't think they arrested the kid. And now that I have community notes powers on the Twitters, I might have to start pointing these things out. A 6-year-old girl and her mother, who were seeking asylum in the United States, have been deported to Ecuador after being arrested in New York City and held in immigration detention for a week. You know who else was claiming asylum? Harjinder Singh, who then went on to get a commercial driver's license and kill 3 Floridians. He was also seeking asylum before it was rejected by the Trump administration and granted by the Biden administration with his EDA, his employment authorization documents, EAD. A 6-year-old girl, the 6-year-old girl was seeking asylum. The mother was. Second grade student went to Immigration and Customs Enforcement. The second grade student went to an Immigration and Customs Enforcement check-in appointment with her mother and older brother in Lower Manhattan when they were detained by federal agents. New York officials confirmed that the young girl and her mother, who had been living in Queens, were deported on Tuesday morning. The girl's 19-year-old brother is still locked up in an immigration detention center in New Jersey. The case is another one. A public school student being targeted has drawn scrutiny, outrage. The child's arrest appears to be the first known ICE arrest of a New Yorker under the age of 18 during the Donald Trump administration. It's not clear which child has been arrested here. Is it the 19? If the 6-year-old or 7-year-old's been arrested? This is cruel, and I say to those who did this, where is your humanity? We already heard what you have to say here. The Independent has requested comment from the Department of Homeland Security. In a previous statement, Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said the family had final orders for their removal and encouraged undocumented immigrants to self-deport. If not, you'll be arrested and deported without a chance to return, she said. The Ecuadorian family sought asylum without legal permission after arriving at the U.S.-Mexico border in December 2022. The woman identifies as Martha, had her asylum claims denied last year, but continued to attend ICE check-ins without issue. So she's continuing with ICE check-ins under the Biden administration. You have a new administration now. Her asylum claim was denied. I presume, I don't know what's going on in Ecuador in any meaningful detail. Denied. Now what? Her child attended PS 89 school in Queens. In a letter to ICE pleading for the girl's release, the school's principal called her a kind, respectful, dedicated young lady. I have no doubt that she is. Now they're going to use the kids as the pretext to circumvent the law by the parents, whose unexpected removal will cause significant disruption to her learning and will likely have a deep emotional impact on classmates and the community. They shut down schools for 3 years. Now they're going to say that a kid having to find a new school within the same year is going to have deep impacts. Last week, the family was arrested during a check-in appointment at 26 Federal Plaza, home of ICE offices, yada, yada, yada. Martha's 19-year-old son was sent to that holding center. And then it doesn't sound like they arrested the 7-year-old kid. It sounds like they arrested the family, the mother, when she went to this. ICE is on the yada, yada. There's no greater depravity than separating a family and deporting a 6-year-old child 2 weeks before she's supposed to start. No greater depravity? I can think of many greater depravities. It's a shameful stain. We can skip the rest of this. It's an amazing thing where A, it's never going to be easy. B, there's always going to be someone caught in the crosshairs. At the end of the day, there's a legal way of doing it. And a great many people follow the legal process with all of its delays, with all of its costs, and don't make bogus asylum claims, have them rejected, and then insist on staying illegally, and then try to tug at your heartstrings because a child is going to get impacted by the criminality of the parent. That's the bottom line. I think it was Tom Homan who said it best. Like, we separate parents from kids all the time. Every time an adult goes to jail because of their criminality. Oh, you can't send them to jail. It's going to cause substantial disruption to the child's life if you put a parent in jail for their criminality. Well, you won't separate the parents from the kids. They're just going to go back to their homeland where they were 2 years and 9 months ago after their asylum claim was denied. But you just know you're getting lied to all the time. Half-truths, manipulation, and they have no facts to rely on, so they just appeal to emotions and make you feel like a big bad boogeyman for enforcing the law of the land. You have a border or you don't have a border. You have laws or you don't have laws. People get impacted by the application of the laws every day, and people get impacted when you don't apply the laws. There are 3 dead Floridians right now because Harjinder Singh wasn't deported when he was refused entry and when his asylum claim was denied.